Create a YouTube video using this script. Table of contents. Understanding dopamine and habits, the nothing rule, a simple yet powerful concept, sore muscles, sore dopamine, an analogy, the dopamine roller coaster highs and lows, embracing the nothing to reset your brain, practical applications, how to use the nothing rule, the 10-minute trick, mastering your urges, the power of patience, letting dopamine recover naturally, conclusion, taking control of your habits and your life, written by James Clear. Section 1. Understanding dopamine and habits. Our brains love rewards. This is a fundamental aspect of how we function and survive. The brain's reward system is a complex network that drives us to seek out experiences that bring us pleasure and satisfaction. When we do something pleasurable, our brain releases a chemical called dopamine. This neurotransmitter is often referred to as the feel-good chemical because it plays a major role in how we experience pleasure and reward. Dopamine makes us feel good and motivates us to repeat the behavior. Whether it's eating a delicious meal, achieving a goal, or even just laughing with friends, dopamine is at the heart of these rewarding experiences. This is how habits are formed. When an action consistently leads to a dopamine release, our brain starts to associate that action with pleasure, making us more likely to repeat it. We eat a cookie, it tastes good, our brain releases dopamine and we want another cookie. This cycle of action and reward is what solidifies habits, both good and bad. But what about bad habits? These are often formed in the same way. The immediate pleasure we get from these actions can overshadow the long-term negative consequences. These also trigger dopamine release. For instance, smoking a cigarette or biting your nails can provide a quick hit of dopamine, making these habits hard to break. Think about scrolling through social media for hours. It's designed to be engaging and rewarding, with each like, comment, or new post providing a small dopamine hit. It's easy and enjoyable in the moment, but it can leave us feeling empty and unproductive later on. The short-term pleasure doesn't always translate to long-term satisfaction. The problem is that these quick dopamine hits can make it hard to stick to healthier habits. Activities like exercising or eating healthy foods may not provide the same immediate pleasure, making them harder to maintain. Why choose a piece of fruit when a candy bar offers a more intense dopamine rush? The brain's reward system can sometimes work against our best intentions. This is where the nothing rule comes in. By understanding how dopamine influences our habits, we can start to make more mindful choices and create healthier patterns in our lives. Section 2. The Nothing Rule, a simple yet powerful concept. The Nothing Rule is a strategy to help you regain control over your dopamine levels and build better habits. In today's fast-paced world, we're constantly bombarded with stimuli, from social media notifications to the endless stream of entertainment options. This can make it incredibly challenging to focus and maintain a sense of inner peace. It's about resisting the urge to immediately seek pleasure or distraction and instead embracing the nothing. By doing so, we create a space for our minds to rest and reset, which is crucial for mental well-being. This might sound boring, even counterintuitive. After all, we're often told that staying busy and constantly engaging in activities is the key to a fulfilling life. Shouldn't we strive for excitement and enjoyment? While it's true that these experiences can bring joy, they can also lead to burnout if we're not careful. But here's the thing, constantly chasing dopamine highs actually throws our system out of balance. When we're always seeking the next thrill, we become desensitized to the smaller, more meaningful moments in life. The nothing rule helps us reset. By intentionally choosing to do nothing, we give our brains a chance to recover from the constant stimulation. By choosing to do nothing, no phone, no TV, no junk food, we allow our dopamine levels to stabilize. This practice can lead to a greater appreciation for the simple things in life, like a good book, a healthy meal, or a quiet moment of reflection. This makes us less reactive to cravings and more receptive to the simple pleasures of life. Over time, you'll find that you don't need constant stimulation to feel content. Instead, you'll discover a deeper sense of satisfaction and peace in the everyday moments that often go unnoticed. Section 3. Sore muscles, sore dopamine. An analogy. Imagine you haven't worked out in a while and you decide to hit the gym. The next day, your muscles are sore. This soreness is a sign that you challenged your body and it's rebuilding itself stronger. The same principle applies to our dopamine system. When we constantly bombard ourselves with high dopamine activities, we're overworking our reward pathways. Taking a break, even if it feels uncomfortable at first, allows these pathways to recover and become more sensitive again. Just like muscle soreness is a sign of growth, the initial discomfort of resisting a craving is a sign that you're rewiring your brain for the better. Section 4. The dopamine roller coaster, highs and lows. When we engage in activities that release large amounts of dopamine, we experience a temporary high. But what goes up must come down. After the initial surge, dopamine levels plummet, leaving us feeling depleted and craving another hit. This creates a vicious cycle of seeking out more intense stimuli to chase that fleeting feeling of reward. We become trapped on a dopamine roller coaster, constantly seeking the next high to avoid the lows. The nothing rule helps us break free from this cycle. By consciously choosing to abstain from dopamine-spiking activities, we allow our baseline levels to gradually return to a healthier, more sustainable state. Section 5. Embracing the nothing to reset your brain. The nothing rule isn't about sitting in a dark room doing absolutely nothing. It's about consciously choosing activities that don't trigger a dopamine surge. This could be going for a walk in nature, reading a book, spending time with loved ones, or meditating and practicing mindfulness. These activities might not offer the same instant gratification as a sugary snack or a social media binge, but they provide a different kind of reward, one that nourishes our minds and bodies in a more sustainable way. Section 6. Practical applications. How to use the nothing rule. This section will guide you through the steps to effectively implement the nothing rule in your daily routine, helping you to find balance and mindfulness in a world full of distractions. Here are a few practical ways to incorporate the nothing rule into your life. Identify your triggers. Start by observing your daily habits and noting what activities tend to spike your dopamine levels. This could be anything from checking social media, binge-watching TV shows, or even indulging in your favorite snacks. What activities send your dopamine levels soaring? Recognizing these triggers is the first step towards managing them. By understanding what drives your cravings, you can begin to take control of your impulses and make more mindful choices. Once you're aware of them, you can start to create some distance. Schedule nothing time. This means deliberately setting aside moments in your day where you engage in activities that don't provide instant gratification. It could be as simple as sitting quietly, taking a walk, or practicing deep breathing exercises. Just like you schedule appointments and workouts, block out time in your day for activities that don't involve screens or other dopamine triggers. Start small. Begin with just a few minutes each day and gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable with the practice. You don't have to go cold turkey on all things pleasurable. The goal is to find a balance. Allow yourself to enjoy small treats and simple pleasures, but do so mindfully and in moderation. This way, you can still experience joy without becoming overly dependent on these activities for happiness. Begin by setting small, achievable goals, like resisting the urge to check your phone for the first hour after you wake up. Instead, use this time to read a book, meditate, or simply enjoy a quiet moment to yourself. These small changes can have a significant impact on your overall well-being. Remember, the goal is not to eliminate pleasure from your life, but to create a healthier relationship with it. By finding joy in simple, non-stimulating activities, you can reduce your reliance on high dopamine triggers and cultivate a more balanced and fulfilling lifestyle. By consciously choosing to embrace the nothing, you gain greater control over your desires and choices. This newfound control can lead to increased focus, productivity, and a deeper sense of contentment. Embrace the nothing rule and discover the power of doing nothing.